Oh, man. A timely bumper blinded me with science, because this is a bit about science I gotta get off my chest. I'm sure, Popeye, you heard that, now Microsoft owns Skype. And, honestly, I want you guys, when you think of Microsoft, I just want you to think of the U.S. government, okay? Because I know this from first-hand experience, that some of these 16 intelligence agencies, they have software available to break into any Windows system with ease. Okay, any of them. They all have backdoors into the software. Most Windows software have backdoors into them. And so I remember about a year and a half ago, when the NSA was bitching about how they could not basically wiretap Skype because it was closed source, etc., and the company was in the hands of way too many people. It was in the hands of the eBay company and then some German company, Swiss company, and so they really couldn't get someone to capitulate. In comes Microsoft. And days after they buy the company, they start handing out the encryption keys to all the countries. Even a Russian website was saying that now Russia has the encryption keys because Russia's been wanting them for years now. And so when you take that into account, and also into account that in the Secret Patriot Act, they want access to all geolocation data in every cell phone. Like just total awareness. Basically omnipresent ability to know exactly where you are, who you are, and whatever method that you use to, get any sort of privacy, anonymity. Some company is like Microsoft that's tied into the military-industrial complex, is tied to the 16 intelligence agencies, is going to buy them out and make it public. What's your thoughts on this, man?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. And if you know anything about the Amdocs system, which Amdocs is an Israeli-owned company, and every landline phone call made goes through them.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I'll give you one guess what they're a front company for. It starts with an M and ends with a D. That would be Mossad. Okay? And I'm sure your listeners are familiar with 9/11. If they go research, you'll find out that before 9/11, the FBI was very quietly rounding up one of the largest spy rings in the United States, in the history of the United States. It was larger than any spy ring the Soviet Union ever had into this country. And they had penetrated, to understand how big that is, the Soviet Union had penetrated the White House. Okay, there's a great book you should read. It's called Target Patton. If you ever get a chance to read it yourself, Mike, or if any of the listeners, it talks about Patton's death, why he was killed and everything, but it explains a lot about how deep that some of these government records that are now coming out, how deep the Soviets had infiltrated us. Well, if you can imagine, this Israeli spy ring was larger than that, and they had rounded up about half of them when 9/11 happened. And these guys were they had arrested Mossad agents, basically, that had been embedded pretty much in almost every government organization. So if you have, and you have to understand, Mossad, it's not just Mossad, so it's not just the Jews. It's Mossad, works with CIA, works with MI6.
It's an intelligence agency.
They're all just different arms of the same Hydra. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, Popeye, there was a document that broke out on ForRequest. I wrote an article on where they talked about creating a global intelligence network by 2015. And so,
kind of like, well, they already have it. Now they just want to tell you, hey, look, we made this.
Yeah, but the thing about it is when you think about Interpol and Europol, this is a global intelligence organization.
And Obama gave Interpol access to people in the United States.
Yeah.
With an executive order about a year ago or so?
Exactly. And so, basically, we can't look at intelligence agencies, whether it's CIA, DIA, whether it's the other 16, and some of the ones that aren't even public. We can't look at them as separate agencies. They're all tied in across the world.
Oh, and it's not like, oh, well, they just do favors for each other once in a while. I mean, the ISI, for instance, everybody, so people understand, we're ramping up the drums of war to go bomb the crap out of Pakistan because now all of a sudden the ISI was hiding bin Laden, and now they're saying, oh my God, look. Now they're very secretively, every once in a while, you'll see something about how the ISI might have been involved with 9/11 sneak out in the mainstream media. Well, that's stuff that we talked about 10 years ago. Okay, but you have to understand the ISI was created by our own CIA. And if anybody thinks that the ISI was created and, by our CIA and then just let go and we don't have any way of controlling that, you're out of your mind.
Well, it's funny because whether you take into account Operation Cyclone or Executive Order 12333, where Reagan, Carter, Bush all, established the Mujahideen, all established the Pakistani intelligence agency, once
Brzezinski, he was hanging out. Look, he helped create the Mujahideen, and he's Obama's foreign policy advisor.
I remember him saying in a or destroying the Soviet Union. Well, since of course I'm not even gonna dignify that with an answer, but yeah, I mean, like I say, once you're an intelligence agent, you are an intelligence agent for life. And now that it's a global network, they all want a piece. But also there's that the sort of company profile background, where everyone, let's say Microsoft, you buy this or you buy that, Google, and all these different companies are all tied in. Just about every major company that deals with cloud data, online cloud data, telecommunications, they're all tied in since NSA's Trailblazer and I forget the other name, and those different operations where every bit of data that we have goes there.
Echelon.
Yeah, Echelon, Trailblazer, Groundbreaker was another one.
Yeah, and Echelon's a combined effort between us and the British. So, I mean, and they're getting it as well, too. So any listeners in the UK, don't think that this is, purely going on in the States. Echelon is our country and your country working together to spy on its own citizens.
What'd you think about Facebook now enabling facial recognition into their images?
Well, I mean, honestly, I foresaw things like that as well as hundreds of people said the same thing. But it's creepy to see it coming into reality, Mike, because it's like watching a dystopian sci-fi movie just come alive right in front, like living it, It's like seeing, you see stuff on TV and you're like, that'll never happen. We're living it. We're living in it right now, man. I understand it and I know it, I'm prepared for a lot of stuff as well as, many others are. But at the same time, when talking about it and saying it could happen and seeing it actually foment in front of you are two different things. And it's really, really creepy to see what, I'd rather be wrong. I'd rather be the crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist that, we're just paranoid. I wish that were reality, but it's not.
The thing about it is that in my past, I've fractured a few laws, and since now it's past the statute of limitations, I can say this. As a kid, I used to hack into Air Force DEC systems, System V, Unix DEC systems. And, of course, I got raided a few times. I was in a few hacker groups and whatnot. And so I know exactly what it means for the NSA and all these different groups now to have these quantum computers. Because now with these quantum computers, they're so easily able to break average encryption now. And so if you want any anonymity, I use a lot of VPNs, such and such, like offshore VPNs. And, if you want your anonymity, but to these days, it's a hell of a lot of effort to get any sort of privacy.
Privacy? What's that?
Yeah, it's an illusion to a degree.
What's that? Well, Mike, if you've got nothing to hide, why should you care? Isn't that what Eric Schmidt said, the former head of Google? If you've got nothing to hide, why should you really care about privacy?
Yeah, I'm sure he wants to hide his sex slaves.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, like you said to me when we were talking during the break, this is coming from the same people that they need privacy to protect them because they're pedophiles and all the backroom deals and all the things they do.
Absolutely. And, of course, rudely interrupted by the break. Stay tuned, folks. We're just getting started. VantagePointRadio.com.